I'm Charlotte.
We're two sisters who aren't good
At being Mormon.
In fact, we're real bad at it.
But we're really great at finishing each other's sentences.
And drinking wine.
And pouring it on our laptops while we're recording. Woo!
Cheers!
Cheers.
I love a good Cabernet Sauvignon.
Mariah Carey?
Have I ever told that story for the podcast yet?
I don't think you have, but you did just tell it to our friend Dana.
Let's write that one down. The time Mariah Carey came into my store with her entourage and acted a fool.
As she tends to do.
Good times. We have a little short story we'd like to tell you this evening.
A parable, if you will.
And it involves the time that I, Mandi, saw Ozzy Osbourne, Slaughter,
what?
and Ugly Kid Joe in concert.
I don't get it. Why?
Well, Ozzy Osbourne.
100% correct. But why is Ugly Kid Joe there?
I actually really, to be honest with you, I'm sad to admit it, but
that's why you went?
Any of my Utah friends would know, my high school friends, I loved Slaughter. And
I don't even know who Slaughter is.
I loved Ugly Kid Joe. Oh, yeah, you do.
Do I?
Yeah.
I knew Ozzy Osbourne, and I know Ugly Kid Joe, and they are not even close to sounding the same.
No,
And Slaughter sounds like Guar to me.
It was an interesting pairing.
Does Slaughter's music sound like Guar's?
You might know Slaughter from their hit song. Nope, none of these are their hit song. I'm looking on Spotify right now. Is this the right Slaughter? It is. Oh, you know this one. No?
Hump all night and sleep all day?
Up all night.
Oh, it sounds like hump. I'm humping all night.
Okay, wait, hold on. How about this one? Do we remember this song?
Is that Extreme?
They were both popular around the same time. Oh, that brings back memories.
For somebody, because it's not me.
Yeah. They're not a great band.
I do know the first song you said, though. I have heard that.
Yeah. They weren't a great band, but I loved them at the time. They were very popular. And I was really excited to see all three bands in concert.
Ugly Kid Joe. Now, for the one listener that's listening, Ugly Kid Joe's one-hit wonder is, Maddie, sing it.
It goes,
I can only think of the chorus.
I hate the rain and sunny weather.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And I hate some
Does
other
something
shit too.
And I hate everything about you.
I want to say
There's so many more lyrics to that
and they're all terrible.
I should know. But yeah, it's pretty much he just talks about the things that he likes.
Well, it's all
every
single thing is a juxtaposition. So it's like, I hate the rain and the sunny weather. I hate your mom and your dad. I hate being happy and being sad. It's like whatever the
But mainly, I
lyrics are,
fucking
stupid.
hate you.
But I hate everything about you. Exactly.
Which I only know that song from the motion picture soundtrack, Wayne's World.
Oh, that's right.
Right?
That was a long time ago, huh?
It's in the diner when they're showing Ed Harris and he's talking about shit, and that's just playing on in the background.
The steam coming up from a man's wound if you kill him in the winter.
Yes!
Well, I have a story I'd like to tell you about the time when I saw all three of those bands in concert together.
Excellent. Go on.
This show took place in June 21st of 1992. So it was like 4 months after that Metallica show that I saw.
So you were seasoned at this point.
This would have been my second big arena tour. I don't know how old I was. I've got to get my spreadsheet out to remember how old I was. I was a junior in high school.
I'm going to say you're 17.
No, because I left.
16?
I moved to Bellingham when I was 17.
Oh, right. So you'd have been 15 and a half.
Ish. Yeah. So, anyway, I don't remember what time of year it was, but I waited out in line for concert tickets, like I do. I know exactly what I'm doing. I bring my 10 friends. I get really great seats to the show. We're not in the front row, but we're in the first 10, for sure. And I really have a fond memory of waiting out for those tickets, especially. That was the time when somebody had actually brought a TV and a VCR out to watch videos. Awesome. So it's like, basically you get a bunch of fans together. We mentioned this before. It's like tailgating, right? So all the fans are together. You bring your beach chairs, your lounge chairs, your sleeping bags, your pillows, your snacks, all your shit, and you camp out and you wait for tickets from anywhere from like 6 to 12 to 16 hours if you're like me and, you know, diehard fan who wants to get the front of the line or whatever. So we're all out there, and I remember it being kind of cold, and it was, I don't remember, but the show was in June, so it wasn't snowing cold, but it was a little chilly in Utah. And a bunch of us are camped out for these tickets. There's probably 30 people in line or so, and it's about 11 p.m., midnight or so. And somebody had, I don't know how they were getting power to it, but they had a TV and a VCR, and we were watching old Ozzy Osbourne videos. And that's when I heard the whole story about Randy Rhodes and that whole thing about how he died.
Oh, right.
You remember hearing about this?
I watched a movie or something that kind of, was it like the plane hit the bus or some shit?
Yeah. So yeah, it was basically, so it was all these like tour videos, and somebody had put this compilation of Ozzy tour videos together, and a lot of it was right before Randy Rhodes had died. So Randy Rhodes was the guitarist for Ozzy for his last, well, obviously Randy Rhodes' last tour, but the tour that happened, I don't know what tour it was, but it was in 82.
Year before I was born. Go on.
But he also played in Quiet Riot. He was a guitarist for Quiet Riot. I mean, he was a fucking awesome guitar player. That, you know the song Crazy Train?
Yeah.
That guitar riff, that's Randy Rhodes.
Nice.
So they had this pilot who had this little plane, and they were trying to fuck around with the tour bus. Like, they were all headed to Florida together. They were in somewhere on that side, on the east side. They were heading to Florida, and so the plane kept taking different groups of people and would kind of fly along with the tour bus as it was driving. It was a little plane, so it wasn't like a long distance plane, and they kept buzzing, you know, like buzzing the tower.
Right, we just watched Top Gun, yeah.
They kept buzzing the plane, and Randy Rhodes and this makeup artist, or hairstylist, makeup artist, I think, were on the plane with the pilot, and they were trying to buzz they had just tried unsuccessfully to get a couple other members of the band onto the plane to like fuck with the tour bus.
Right. And
so they buzzed the tour bus, and the wing clipped the bus, and it spun the plane out of control and killed all three of them on board. Yeah, it was the bodies were burned beyond recognition. Like, it was a horrible sight.
Right.
Sharon Osbourne was quoted as saying something like there was body parts everywhere. Like, you got off the bus and it was just this horrific scene. But anyways, it was a huge travesty to, like, anybody who was into, like, that music scene at the time, because he was such, like, a legendary guitar player.
Well, yeah.
So I remember sitting out in line for this, waiting for these concert tickets to go see Ozzy. Somebody had brought that, and I got the whole education on Randy Rhodes right out there waiting for the tickets. So I remember that very clearly, because it was like, holy shit, that's a fucked up story.
Really fucked up. So I want to say, I don't know if I was watching a movie, like Elton John, I have no idea, but like he was hanging out with it. Because it wasn't a thing about, there's no movies about Ozzy Osbourne out right now, or Black Sabbath, right?
Not that I can think of.
I was watching something, and it was almost as if he was sleeping in a bus, and a wheel had hit the bus. And so I guess in my brain, I thought the wheel hitting the bus killed the dude. But no, it was a plane getting super fucked. I learned something new today.
Yeah, really sad story.
It's really fucking fucked up.
Yeah, because the guy was hella talented.
Right.
But yeah, so anyway, we get our tickets to that show. That was a really fun sleepover ticket experience too. And then, so that concert was happening at the Delta Center, not the Vivint Smart Home Arena, or whatever the fuck you guys want to call it now in Utah. It was the Delta Center proper, as it should be.
Delta Variant Center. Go on.
Anyway, so this was 1992. This was June, almost July. And me and my friends get to our seats. I can't remember again which row we were in. We were in the front, front 10 probably. And Ugly Kid Joe's the first band to come out.
It is.
And I don't know why, I kind of had it in my head all these years, and I never put too much thought into it, but I've always had it in my head that, like, that was Kid Rock's band, but it wasn't.
I can see this.
But the
like,
guy
I'm
had
not
a Kid Rock vibe.
right? He was the less lame Kid Rock.
Yeah. Only
I
he
see
was
that.
pretty lame, too.
Except for he's not Kid Rock, so it can't be that lame.
That's, you know what? Fucking fact. You're right.
On a spectrum of Kid Rock lameness, Kid Rock being the king of lame, he's like maybe somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, definitely a Kid Rock vibe, for sure. And they didn't even play half of their set. They came out on stage. We were there in our seats, sitting down, you know. All the seats around us were empty.
Right.
The arena hadn't filled up yet because
everybody was tailgating.
Everybody was there to see Ozzy.
Right, so no one's going to show.
You can't
Right, that's why they're tailgating, waiting for Ozzy.
Yeah, you can't be Rain and Sunny Weather Song opening for Ozzy and expecting the fucking sky to open up with fans.
Yeah, you'd be happy that someone's not throwing a bottle of beer at your head.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know what? God bless. I'm in the arena. Me and my friends are there. We're watching your set. And I liked the band at the time because they were on the radio and they were popular.
And, you know, Wayne's World.
Yeah. Exactly. So they were super fucking pissed because nobody was really like
into their music
with them. In fact, even my group, we were just like talking to each other and we weren't really like.
It's like a jukebox in the background.
Yeah.
You're not really paying attention.
I almost feel like the lights were on full blast, but I don't think that's true. I think they actually turned the lights on right after the guy from Ugly Kid Joe said, you know what, fuck you guys. We're not even going to fucking play. And he kicked a chair off the stage into what would have been the front row, but nobody was sitting in it. It's like, fuck you guys, and they left. And then the lights went up, and we were like, okay, that was weird. And then, I don't know, some house music played.
Probably why he's on a fucking Kid Rock vibe, because he's like, he just went from halfway up to like, not
full
quarter.
Rock?
Yeah, like a quarter of the way up.
3/4.
3/4 of the way up.
Yeah.
Kid Rock vibe.
Yeah, for sure. So that was funny. And I remember that too. And I think he had cornrows. If I remember
It's never
right.
cool. Axl Rose did it when he tried to revamp Guns N' Roses. Like, dude, for one, you're trying to revamp an awesome band that you fucked up and you've got cornrows, just go sit down, dude. Mm-hmm. Sit down.
Go to your hyperbaric chamber and breathe your oxygen. So the next band was Slaughter, which at the time I really loved. I feel like I want to say they had a song that didn't show up on the Spotify list that I just pulled up for you. And it was like, I finally found the love of a lifetime. Finally found the love. No, that was Firehouse. They're all kind of the same band. Anyway. Extreme. Right. So Slaughter comes out, and they're a little more rockin', right? The guy's wearing tight leather pants. He's got long hair.
He's trying.
So, they've got the look. And he comes out, and they're singing their song, and the arena's more filled up now, right? It's probably
nobody wants to miss Ozzy, so yeah, go on.
It's about 3/4 of the way filled up, and they're putting on a show. They're like, doing the moves on the stage, playing their hits. And at one point, the guy does this high kick, the lead guy with his guitar.
I know this story.
And he kicks the fucking cord out of the guitar that hooks up to the amp, right? Kicks the cord out. And he just, realizes what he's done. This look of shock comes over his face. His foot goes down. His hands stop what they're doing. His mouth is just open. And the whole song never stops. Everything keeps playing perfectly. It was totally fake the whole time. He was just lip syncing. And then I think the moment.
What a loser.
And it was just like a split second. But we were pretty close to the stage.
Right.
So you could easily see the magic was lost.
Right.
Because you're just like, oh, come on. You're not even singing.
Listen, fucking Milli Vanilli.
Much less playing that guitar. So that was funny. And I kind of want to say that they got booed after that, but I could just be making that up because that's what I want to happen.
Yeah. So much time has passed. Tell the story the way you want to.
I haven't done enough research to see if somebody's posted a video of that one online, so I'm going to find out.
I think we should also make sure to do a hashtag of Milli Vanilli in here somehow.
Totally.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
So that band leaves, and now it's time for the main event, right? This is Ozzy Osbourne. Oh, and I forgot to mention this at the top, but this is the No More Tours tour, right? So that
was his No More Tears album was out.
So No More Tours. This was his final tour. And this was the first time that he said He was not doing any more tours, right? This is 1992.
But I just want to make sure that's the same album that came out.
No
that
More
time.
Tears.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the album had come out several years before.
Yeah.
Did it come out? I think the album came out a few years before. Regardless, it doesn't matter. It was Ozzy is now in the year 2021. It's become a joke how many times he's
said,
gone
I'm
into
not
retirement
doing this anymore.
But I want to say this was the first time that it was like, he's like, no more tours, we're done. And so this tour was called the No More Tours tour as a play on the No More Tears.
Got it.
album.
No, I like it. I like what I'm hearing.
Yeah. And it was fucking great. Like, I actually was trying to remember. I remember hearing so many of my favorite songs, and I definitely remember hearing Crazy Train. And I actually pulled up the set list just so I could be like, do I remember this happening? And sure enough, it was like, there was a bunch of Black Sabbath covers, which is cool,
nice,
right? Paranoid. Yeah. Flying High Again, which is one of my favorites. Sweet Leaf, of course. No More Tears. War Pigs. Bark at the Moon. One of my favorites.
That's great.
Yeah.
And War Pigs is really great, too.
Iron Man. So they actually, when I'm looking through this list, they did a ton of Black Sabbath covers, which is, I think is fucking cool. The rest of the members of Black Sabbath probably don't think it's cool.
Fuck those guys.
Mama, I'm Coming Home, which was the big hit at the time. Big hit.
Waiting for the sunshine, yeah.
'Cause Mama, I'm coming home.
Yes.
So yeah, that was really fun. But honestly, like you'd heard, or at least I had heard as a kid in Utah, growing up in the religious cult, like, Satan worshiping, he bites the heads off of bats,
right?
Live
Which was
bats
an
on
accident.
stage. Yeah. Now we know that. But at the time, we were just ready for like all hell to break loose, and it just turned out to be the fucking most amazing night ever. I remember getting like just drenched with it was
urine?
either water. No, it wasn't urine. It was water bottles, or I think they had an actual hose that they were like hosing everybody down with. And yeah, it was just like my eyes were just open to the possibility of fucking rock and roll, and it was amazing.
Right.
And here I am, drinking wine, worshiping the devil.
As you've got a devil behind you. This says Family Home Evening with Bad Mormons.
Oh, this old giant wall tapestry you're looking at? Yes, I got it on TeePublic, the FHE Bad Mormons link.
That's pretty sweet that we can put that shit on just about anything.
It really is. Decorative pillow.
You're fucking welcome.
iPhone case.
I'm gonna have to. I'm buying a new iPhone. I think I'm gonna get the new one. So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna hold off to buy that one until later. I was gonna say, it's like I guess maybe a parable story, but honestly, I wouldn't even know how to tell it because it was. Guess what? I blacked out.
Let's start at the beginning.
So, when Craig and I went to go see Rush with our friends, Dee Dee and Kent, and as we're walking in before the Irvine Amphitheater got shut down, people would stand out there and say, for $20 you can get lawn tickets to another show that's coming up. Tom Petty was one. And it was like Tom Petty and ZZ Top. And I was like, Craig, dude, $20, we're buying these tickets. He's like, oh yeah, sounds great, whatever. So we did it. We had a really good time. We leave, and then Tom Petty comes up. Craig cannot get the day off of work. It's a Saturday. It's hard to get off. And so it's just like, but I did. I got it off. And
you're like, peace out, bitch.
Bye, bitch. So I went to go hang out with our friends, who were really his friends. I mean, they're my friends too, but like they've known Craig for like very much longer than I have. So we're hanging out, and I go to their house, and we're drinking vodka sodas and whatever. And then I think we're getting ready to drive there because we're gonna get there kind of early. ZZ Top is playing, and we're gonna find a good place on the lawn. And I tell him, I'm like, well, I haven't eaten yet today. Like, we need to, like, stop off somewhere to eat. We do. I don't eat. I just continue to drink. And nobody said, because I was just like, none of this sounds good. You know what sounds good? Is like one of the hot dogs from, like, the arena. I'm just going to wait to eat at the arena, even though I know.
Sounds good. It's a tumbler of champagne.
Oh, those vodka lemonades will get me every fucking time. So, keep drinking, and I keep drinking. Now we're tailgating, and I'm drinking. I'm like, you guys, I gotta eat. Like, I'm just going fucking down. And because I've never done this before. I mean, I have, but I haven't, not to this degree. So we get in, and I'm like, oh, finally, some food. I eat it. It's way too late. Like, the booze is in my system. There's no food to absorb it.
There's no turning
back now. It's in your bloodstream. So instead of finding a place on the lawn, and poor Dee Dee and Kent I don't know if they had to babysit me or if I was just rocking. Because there is something I've been told about myself, is that if you party with me, you'll be like, it was so weird. You were sober, and then you were fucking wasted. And it's because I don't let on that I'm drunk, and it's hard to know the difference. Like, you know that I'm tipsy, but you don't know that I'm drunk, and then all of a sudden I can't talk anymore, and I'm falling down, right?
Yes, I know.
Yeah, I mean, you clearly know, but for those who don't, so be careful when you party with me. But anyway, so I don't know if they had to babysit me, but it got to the point where I was like, I remember watching ZZ Top, and we were hanging out at the bar. I knocked somebody's beer into them. I bought them a new beer. Sorry. But yeah, it was just like, oh, it's not good. Craig finally gets there. Tom Petty's about to go on, and he sped like a demon. He's like, I went 100 miles an hour to get here. And he comes to me kind of slumped over in like this like picnic table, like
fetal position.
Yeah, it's just like, oh god, what happened to Charlotte? It's like, I gotta go home. I gotta go home. And Craig's like, but I just got here. And I'm like, because normally it would be like, just let me lay down and I'll sleep. If we had actually made it to like the grassy knoll, as we call it, but the lawn, I could have just slept there while everybody enjoyed the show. But at this point, I'm just on this fucking picnic table and I don't know what to do. And I'm like, go home. Gotta go home. And poor Craig he's like, well, I guess I gotta take her home then.
Oh.
Takes me back to the car. He actually sits in the parking lot and listens to the set while I sleep in the passenger seat.
Oh, and you're a monster.
Kind of woke. I know that I looked over. I was like, whoa. I go over and I look at Tom Petty. I'm like, okay, at least I saw him. And he played he strummed the guitar. I'm like, okay, I saw Tom Petty. Then we left. So we actually not that you can go there now because you'll probably buy an apartment there or rent an apartment there.
This is where my portal is, right?
Yes. Yeah. You'll actually find by geotag Charlotte's memorial Tom Petty's memorial. I'd have to look it up, but maybe it's Charlotte's Tom Petty Memorial Grounds or something like that, because it was just a no-go. But it's like, oh, I feel so bad.
And Craig tagged it?
Oh, Craig made that. And he's just like, well, fuck Charlotte. She sucks. But then we would go back and we saw Styx there again, and we'd, instead of saying, we're at the Irvine Amphitheater, it's like, Charlotte's Tom Petty Memorial Grounds.
Alcohol, it's such a blessing and a curse.
Right? I mean, normally I can handle myself, but I was just... Again, I know these people, I don't know them that well, so I drink a little heavier. Just, be fun, be exciting, loose, whatever. And then I just went too far. But from what Craig, and he was probably just saying this to, like, take the sting out of it a little bit. But he's like, oh, it wasn't even that interesting of a set. Like, it wasn't even that good. You didn't miss it.
It's just Tom fucking Petty.
Tom fucking Petty. Well, like, here's what I'll say. And Tom Petty's fucking rad. And I'm really fucking sad I never got to really see him before he passed. Because we also had opportunity to go to the Hollywood Bowl and see him, like, 2 days before he died. And we didn't go. But from what I heard is, like, he wasn't much to talk about, like, this... Like, so, like, don't get me wrong. If we went to go see Metallica or Ozzy Osbourne, I expect my fucking pants to be rocked off, right? I don't need to hear the stories in between them, or you don't really need to talk to me. Just fucking do it. But Tom Petty's a little different. Like, it's more of a... And also, by the way, ZZ Top was pretty good. I very much enjoyed that. But, like, Tom Petty just sat there and sang one song after another. Didn't really talk, didn't really engage. He's sitting down, like... From what I heard, it was kind of fucking lame show. And again, I don't want to talk bad because fucking Tom Petty fucking rules, but it's not the same kind of high energy show. Yeah. And if you're not going to have a high energy show, you better tell me some fucking stories in between them.
Right.
So, again, not to talk shit, but... And that's maybe what I also have to tell myself, to not kick myself for being a fucking idiot. But...
Well, you know what? Here's to Tom Petty. Here's to Randy Rhodes.
Yeah.
Here's to rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
And thanks for listening to our show. If you're enjoying it, please think about possibly heading over to Apple Podcasts and leaving us a review.
Yeah, 5 stars are my favorite.
We're also on social media. We are
YouTube,
on Instagram,
Pinterest,
Facebook,
LinkedIn. Wait, actually, do we have a LinkedIn?
No, but I'm going to make one as soon as we're
Because
done.
I keep saying it. I'm like, what is the lamest social media? Anyways.
We're hiring.
Thank you so much. Actually, you know, that's not a terrible idea for marketing.
Literally, we're going to do it the minute this
Right.
wraps. And thanks to our patrons.
Our patrons are the fucking raddest.
Yeah.
Like, we're so lucky to have you in our lives, and you fucking rule. Thanks to you, best friend.
Rule. Cheers.
Bye.